Welcome to 100 Live. I'm your host, Tajon Perkins, and today on our show, we have the Honorable Mujahid Ramadan. Hello, sir.
Tashawn, welcome. Thank you and welcome you to the show. I'm enjoying being here.
First question. Mr. Ramadan, why this particular name, Police Promoting Unity, and why this specific show?
Well, actually, I'm an inheritor of the name of the show. I think it was founded by a police officer himself, African-American man. He was a lieutenant at that time, Lieutenant Will Minor. And Will saw the need to help educate the African-American community largely. That's why we're with Power 88 KCEP, a great station. Craig Knight does a great job there. And this reaches the voice of our community. This is a voice to our community. And he wanted to use the show as a way of educating the community about what policing really was about. You get the perception of what you see on day-to-day in the streets in the areas of communities. But Lieutenant Minor thought it'd be a good idea to help just talk to the people and let the people call in and ask questions about why certain things happen with policing. So it's a good avenue for us to connect with the community in a different way. Instead of law enforcement, it is about serving.
Like you said, when you was that y'all are with KCEP, do you do talk shows with them and explain what y'all do?
Yeah. And occasionally we'll have people like the president of the 100, Sean Smith. Sean comes on, talks about the 100 Academy that you're a part of, and explains to the community some of the activities. Of course, we have other community members on talking about community activity, the Las Vegas Performing Visual Arts Academy close by. Even at your 100 Academy, we have police officers come in on the Adopt a Cop program. So it gives us what we call a transparent relationship with the community. You'll have Captain Plummer, who's the Bolden Area Command Captain on. This, again, gives you a connection with people like that. So it allows for you to get to know the police department in a different way, and the police department to be in touch with the community in a different way.
All right, second question. How do you think this talk show impacts the community?
Well, it certainly gives a way for people to ask questions about why certain things happen. Why are there certain traffic stops? Why people may get arrested? But also, it becomes a vehicle for many times for the police department to reach out to the community and say, a certain crime has happened. Can you help us solve the crime? If you saw what happened, can you call into the Secret Witness program? So it's a good form of what we're doing here, communicating back and forth.
That was a good answer.
Well, thank you so very much. I appreciate it hearing from you, being the professional that you are. I know your role like that.
Third question. What would you consider a successful show?
A successful show, really, initially for me, that's a very good question on your part, young man. I initially thought the successful show was people were really calling in, just frequently asking questions. But Patricia Cunningham, who's a good friend of mine, and she hosts a Saturday show there on Power 88, she says a good show many times is when people don't call in because they're listening and they're being educated to what you're talking about. So I like for people to call in, but Patricia uses that as an indicator, as a litmus test as to is it a good show or not. And of course, another good example of a good show is later on when I'm in the community, if I'm in a barber shop, which I know you think you don't have to go to the barbershop. I do have to go to the barbershop more frequently now than I used to. Somebody will say, hey, Ramadan, I listened to your show. Or I'm in a grocery store with my wife. Or I'm at a gym working out somewhere. And somebody say, I heard you talk about this on the show. And we talk about both community events, but we also talk about police events. Okay?
Fourth question. You have expanded the show's reach with other programs such as cops in schools. Can you please explain how this works?
Well, we certainly want for the children in our community to see police in a different framework than just law enforcement. So, for instance, we have a baseball team that's sponsored and coached by the police department. We have Adopt a Cop programs where the police come to your school and serve as volunteer teachers and coaches and things like that. 100 Academy, Doolittle, West Prep, many other schools. So in this way, we expand what we're doing with the community. The sheriff meets with the advisory council and they talk to him about hiring and people can get an opportunity to look at more employment. The police department, through this type of program, pushes out diversity. That is, hire more African Americans like yourself and these young men and women in here. Hire more Hispanic, Latinos, and Asians, so that the police department looks like the community is policing.
Time for our random question of the day.
Think I can handle it?
Yeah.
All right.
For sure. Do you like driving or riding in an airplane?
Now that's another very good, interesting question, because with my wife, she prefers for me to drive anytime we're going anywhere. So for me, it means if I can get on the airplane, somebody else can do the flying and I can just sit back and relax. but both have relaxing aspects to it. But air travel tends to be very challenging these days because you got to take off your shoes, you got to take your coat off, you got to take off so many things. It's very complicated. If you go in your car, you just pack your luggage and put it in the car. So quite frankly, I think I'm going to conclude on this one, Tayshawn, and you'll learn this 20 years from now after you're married. My preference of travel, whether driving or being on an airplane, is which one my wife is going to be happiest with. Okay, so there's a saying that many men have: happy wife, happy life. So whatever she's going to be satisfied with. All right, but I might say sometimes with myself, the airplane is better than just flying along.
Second question: do you have a favorite book that you like to read?
I'm a constant, frequent reader. And they say when you don't read, people can keep secrets from you. So I enjoy reading scripture. I enjoy reading the Bible. I'm a practicing Muslim. I enjoy reading the Holy Quran. I enjoy reading books that what young people are talking about today because I'm a baby boomer. So, to understand how young people think, I like to read new things that young people are writing. And it's good always to keep that spirit. I certainly invite you to that. Not just one thing, but a multitude of things. So I'm always reading. And I would always invite people to go back and take a look at the Bible and take a look at Scripture as much as possible. I think it gives you good direction for your life and a good balance for life.
Fourth question before we wrap it up. Would you like cheeseburgers or pizza?
Man, quite frankly, the good pizza, I can go with the good pizza at this point in time. But it's very difficult now to find good pizza at this point in time. The quality of pizza is not as what it used to be. So, of course, I'm very health conscious in my diet. So I maintain as much as I can in the fruit and vegetable department with as much as water as I can, and it's a good way to be. So even while you're young, take advantage of your youth before your age. Part of that is having a good diet. So while you're eating cheeseburgers and pizzas, also make sure you balance it out with some good other healthy food. But I'm still gonna eat some pizza every now and then. All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like you said, when you said you're gonna still eat pizza, what pizza would you like to eat from different restaurants or anything?
I think I'm finding a vegetable pizza very attractive.
So like olives?
Oh yeah, man.
Mushrooms?
Yeah. Brussels sprouts. All those things that are on there. Pickles, those things. Yeah. Us folks in this age generation, grandparents like to. We like to treat ourselves every now and then too. Also, right? And I'll tell you, where I like the cheeseburger at is now this is not advertisement, but the Fat Burger.
Oh.
That's going on. Yeah. My wife only allows me to have it once a month, though. Okay.
Last question. Mr. Ramadan, the community truly benefits from your work. Is there anything you would like to share with our audience before we conclude our interview?
I think at this stage in life, they say we go from aging to saging. So as a sage in the community, I would say to the young people, and to our listening audience and to you, take advantage of 5 things before 5 things take advantage of you. Take advantage of your health before you get sick. Take advantage of your free time before you're busy. Take advantage of your wealth before your poverty. Take advantage of your youth before your old age. And take advantage of your life before your death.
Once again, I'm your host, Tayshawn Perkins, and today on our show we had the Honorable Mr. Mujahid Ramadan. Thank you for watching and tune in next time.